Okay, how's it going, people? At home with Greg. Today we're going to be making a Caesar salad dressing. Now, one thing about a Caesar salad dressing, two things that they should have. One is anchovies, and I know a lot of people are like, I don't like them, but you should have them in there. They have an anchovy paste, and if I had been more prepared, I would have had some. But unfortunately, I don't have anything, and since part of the show is working with what you've got, we're going to make a version without the anchovies. But the anchovy paste is really cool because you can really kind of dial it in very, very slowly so you don't overdo it. So that's a pretty nice thing. The other thing you really should have are eggs, raw. And I know a lot of people are freaked out about this. I've done some research, and at least as far as I can tell, the instances of salmonella in eggs is very, very, very rare here in the U.S. So I wouldn't be afraid to do it. If you are, we do it all the time. We probably have this. We probably have Caesar salad at least, a couple times in 3 weeks at least. And we've never had a problem. Nobody I know has ever had a problem. So, there might be an outlier out there, but I think generally you're safe. If you really are freaked out about it and you don't want to use that, what you can do is use mayonnaise. It doesn't give you the same consistency, but it will work in a pinch. And especially if you don't have an egg, or then mayonnaise will always work. So the first thing is you're going to use what we've got here. We've got half a cup of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, Parmesan cheese, Dijon mustard, pepper, some garlic, and some lemon juice. Now, of all these things, the things you have to be careful with, and there's always a couple of players in the recipe that you have to be careful of. One is the Dijon mustard. If you put too much, it's really hard to come back from. It'll have this over tanginess that you just can't get rid of. And you might have to put something actually maybe a little bit sweet in there to kind of get rid of it. The other thing is the vinegar. Again, vinegar is a super strong flavor, and if you, if you put too much, hard to come back from. Again, you might add some like brown sugar, or you might actually add some really sweet balsamic. That might kind of bring it back from the brink there. With the garlic, if you have a press, that's better. You really don't want these chunks in there, to be honest with you. But, who has the time, right? I mean, this is supposed to be a really short, easy thing that you guys can do at your house without, a million hours of preparation. So, and obviously, I just put these things out for you guys. I'd just be, and it takes about 5 minutes. So you can pressure and kind of mush your garlic out. Then you're going to do your eggs. Like I said, the instances of salmonella in an egg you just bought that's been refrigerated and properly kept is almost 0. So, don't lose any sleep over it. I totally did the first time I made it. I was so freaked out. But then I started doing all this reading, and I'm like, okay, not biggie. So, just get that egg so it's kind of like that. And you're going to be mixing a lot of this in, so it doesn't really matter at this point if it's perfect. I'm going to be using a fork to whisk it anyways. Cups always work really nicely as spoon holders, so a little trick there. So in goes the olive oil. Again, half cup. Now, with the vinegar, it's supposed to be two tablespoons. I'm going to hold some back. I always do. I just think it's the way to go. Now, on the Dijon mustard, it's supposed to be 3/4 of a teaspoon. So very little. And again, you have to be really careful with this stuff because it can go crazy on it really fast. So I'm guessing that's about it right there. Mix it in. Then we've got some pepper. Now, fresh cracked pepper works better in this, obviously, but, you know, again, I'm trying to make, you know, recipes that you can make at home. You're also supposed to use 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I pretty much just give it a squirt. You can always add more later. And again, better to add too little than too much. And then we've got Parmesan. Now, obviously, fresh grated Parmesan works the best. That's about 1/4 cup. Fresh grated Parmesan works the best. But if you don't have it, hey man, you don't have it, you know, and you use what you got. So, mix this up. Hey guys, one thing I forgot. And this happens all the time. You forget something in a recipe. I'm so glad I remembered. So, I kept tasting it. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's good, but there's something I'm missing. And it was Worcestershire sauce. And you're supposed to put a couple of dashes of Worcestershire in it. And I totally forgot about that. So, sorry about that. And this, surprisingly, can stay in your refrigerator for quite a while. I wouldn't leave it out for, you know, too long because of the eggs. You know, I just think that's a little dangerous. So kind of take it out of the refrigerator right before you're going to be serving. I think that's probably the best way to do that. And there we go. And it's all about the consistency. Like, this is actually looking a little bit thick. We'll see. And if that's the case, we can add a little more. Let's see. Wow, really needs the anchovies, like really badly. Okay, so I'm going to put in the rest of this, a little more of this. And again, so it turned out like a little bit bland, didn't have quite enough kick to it, and I know that that's partially the anchovies. So there's nothing I can do about that. And you know, again, when you're making something that you make all the time and it's not quote unquote right to you, you know, part of the thing about cooking is you just gotta let it go. You know, you can't let it bother you. Just let it go. Everything will be fine. Oh, I know what I forgot. Salt. Probably, I don't know, have a teaspoon of salt, you know, a pinch, you know, whatever, a few pinches, I guess. Yeah, pretty good to go. There you go. Classic, easy Caesar salad dressing. If you guys have any questions or any comments, please leave them in the comments below. Have a great day. Talk to you later.